while I am presenting, but I will definitely look afterwards and see which questions you guys have asked. Okay, all right, so the recording has begun, and we have a fair amount to get through, but I hope that you will find it useful. I'm going to share my screen now, and then we'll go to the first task, the first activity. All right, so thank you very much for those who were active in the chat. We always like to know what your research interests are, what you are studying, and I'm very much into research, so I will be more than happy to help you find articles, etc., and also just maybe boost your research as you go along. Okay, so for those who have their cell phones, please scan the QR code. I think actually I should probably copy and paste the link in the chat. This is a Mentimeter code, so it's going to ask you one question. Let me just stop sharing so I can put it in the chat quickly. I'll be with you guys in a moment. Okay, copy, paste the link, and I'm going to see if I can paste that into the chat. Then everybody can see it. Okay, all right. The Mentimeter link is in the chat now. And what I'll do is I'll share full screen from my side, and then we're going to answer one easy question. It's going to be super easy. And I think, well, actually, maybe not as easy. Let's just see here. Okay, sharing, start presentation. Okay, so it's a poll, it's a voting station. And let's join by scanning the QR code. If you could only pick one, which option would you choose? Okay, so for those who haven't used Mentimeter before, you might have to just sign in and then you just select the option. Oh, fantastic. Okay, I see we have a lot of coffee people on the call. Good option. I'm also submitting my answer as we speak. I actually love both tea and coffee. But if I had to choose one at this very moment, I think I would go with coffee. Okay, brilliant. All right, this is amazing. It's actually quite a close call. Yeah, I'm into my herbal teas, so I've got every flavor under the sun. And I recently started learning how to be a barista, so I can make really good coffee at home too. Okay, all right. That was awesome. Thank you so much for participating. Let's get on with the rest of the presentation. So I'm just going to end there and close. Oh, actually, we can keep it running. We can see that too. Okay, full screen. Yes. Okay, so with the agenda for today, we're first going to cover an introduction to the library services. And after that, we'll go into a little bit of the technical details, referencing and AI. After that, I'll tell you what info chats are. We'll then move on to a little bit about the online databases, journals, credible resources that you have at your disposal. And then the last section is going to be for the research Q&A. Right, and this shows you how easy it is to make a booking with me or one of my colleagues. We're known as information specialists, but the old school name is librarians. We're your online library support. And when you go onto the My Library section of My Emeris, you will see an appointment button. Click there, ask your question, say, please can I have an appointment for research support? And then one of us will reach out to you as soon as we can. And then at the bottom there, I've just said, well, I've done a screenshot that says, welcome to the IIE library. Those are the 4 main topics. So depending on what you need, you can click on one of those 4 buttons. But more on that in a moment. All right, so when we come to the IIE library, there are a lot of resources. So I'm just going to show you the main ones, or the ones that I think will be helpful for your research. The top block that says search, that is all round. So when you type your search in there, think of it as a Google query. It's going to find all sorts of odd information, books, articles, journals, databases. If you need more of a specialized support, you may need to look further and just go for the databases or online journals. Okay, so when you are under the research support section, so that was that third block of the IE library, then these are the different topics you're going to find. You know, maybe links to research ideas to get you going on a topic, how to do a literature review, research methods, are you qualitative or quantitative, helpful research tools, ethics behind it, and then predatory journals. Okay, so what is that? That basically means that the people who put these journals on the internet, they're trying to make money, they're trying to catch people out, they are predators like sharks, and they put forward journal articles that are not actually theirs. So they kind of steal from others and then publish it as their own. Please avoid those journals. It makes your research look really bad if you do use them. And you might use them without knowing. So we do have a list called Beale's list, and that is where you can double check yourself. Is this a good journal or not? And if you're also not sure, please ask us, the information specialists. We also have those lists and we can also check for you. And then the good ones are on the DHET list, Department of Higher Education and Training list. This is in South Africa the best list of journals that you can possibly find, highly accredited. So if you use one from that list, you are good to go. All right, and as I said before, please reach out if you need extra assistance. And then when it comes to additional resources, we do have our own YouTube channel. We call it the Postgrad Library and Academic Support Channel. And for Emirates Online, we have not only the library side of things, but added extras. So then you'll find some of our online navigators or lecturers have posted helpful tutorials, um, extra videos, maybe they're 2 minutes long, how to find resources on ARC, or how um, to find more for your academic reports and such. Okay, but for me, I had lots of fun creating these 7 videos. They are basically under 2 minutes long each, so it won't waste your time. It's very much to the point, and the topics covered are in the bullet pointed list. So you'll see it starts off with the basics, and then as you move along, it becomes more technical. I even give you some tips on how to write a good literature review, and then if you're struggling to form your research question, then here are some tips that could be of value. And I hope I can share this presentation with everybody because it's got the live links on the PDF. So then all you need to do is click this link and you will get to the YouTube page. Right, now it's over to you. It's your turn to either type in the chat or raise a hand. What does responsible AI use look like to you? You know, we're all familiar with what AI is. Is it something you don't like? Is it something you do like? Have you used it before? All of these things we have to keep in the back of our minds as we use them. It is a powerful tool, but if we let it take control of our research and let it do the research for us, then that is not using it in an ethical way. So yeah, if you've got suggestions or maybe you want to share something in the chat, please go right ahead. I'm going to just brush through these 5 points quickly. So for example, going the wrong way now. Sorry about that. I've clicked on the live link by mistake. This is research support from the live page. Okay, but never mind. I'm going to close that now. Back to the presentation. Okay. So with AI, we have a specific way that we want to acknowledge the AI usage. I will cover that in a moment.
There's a research bootcamp thing. It's class
Kindly
but they're just showing
mute
us
your
like
mic,
what we
please.
can, where we can.
Thank you. And with the AI literacy, so basically the information specialist will help you with research support and AI support if you are struggling. Althea, I see you had a hand up.
Hi, Michelle. Where am I? Hi, Michelle. I can't, I don't know if anybody else can't, but I can't actually put anything in the chat. It says the chat is not available.
Okay. Okay, what happens in that case is maybe you've joined from an external link. All of those who are joining that says admit entry, it means you have not entered from the correct page. Let me show you quickly. It should be this link. Can you see the screen here? It says upcoming campus events, and it says click to join the session on the day. If you have not used this link, you will have limited access to the chat, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, all right, but don't worry. If you want to, you can always put your hand up. I know sometimes it is a bit daunting, but we would love to hear from everybody. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just double check I haven't missed anything in the chat. Let's see here. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Twane, for putting that in there, the correct meeting link. Most welcome to switch over and type in the chat. Okay, cool. But I do see some people have joined using the correct link, so congrats. Well done to everybody for making it here this morning. All right, and then let's go back to our presentation. Okay, so what does responsible AI use look like? It is about using it to enhance but not overtake our academic writing. And then here we go. Here is the IIE reference guide. We use a method called Harvard Anglia. It's not exactly the same as the Microsoft Word version. So what you will need to do is modify it. Even if you do one of those pre-populated reference lists, you'll need to go into the IIE reference guide. And I did put the link in my presentation. So if I click there, it takes us to the latest 2026 Harvard Anglia reference guide. And the nice thing about this guide is it has an automatic table of contents, so you don't have to waste time wondering where do I find this. You go directly to the type of source that you have in front of you. So for example, you've got a journal article which was obtained from an online database, and here we go on page 15 of the reference guide. You've got how to do an in-text reference. If you have turned it into your own words, you've paraphrased it. Or if you've used a direct quote, that's the one where you must remember to add your page number and the actual air brackets, air quotes. But please don't overuse the direct quote option. Rather, turn it into your own words as much as possible. And there you have it. Turn it in, the tool that we use to see is this your own work or not. It needs to be not the same as everybody else's. So please try and be creative and unique when you do come to writing your own sentences. ChatGPT loves being formulaic, so it uses a formula in the way it writes, and this can get highlighted on Turnitin, because if everybody uses the ChatGPT tool, they're all going to get similar answers and similar forms of writing, and then your work might be flagged. Okay, so reference list with the one that we were looking at, the journal article, you'll see it contains all the information, including the live link. So please do be careful when you are copying across these links. It must be in those triangle brackets, and it has to, when you click it, it must go to the correct place. ChatGPT has this nasty habit of changing the DOI links so that it takes you somewhere completely different. And it's a huge sign that you've used AI if those links are incorrect. And then also please make sure that when it says accessed, that's the date you personally accessed this article. So if you've accessed it today, it will be 21 February 2026. 2023 means I've copied it from somebody from 3 years back. So please make sure that all of these state the current year. Okay, back to referencing. All right, please ask us if you want us to check your final draft of your work, just to ensure that you've got enough in-text references or that your sources are credible. And we also then do a quick check of your reference list so that they must match up. Whatever you've got in text it has to mirror, it has to do a mirror image in your final reference list at the end of the document. And then the referencing errors that do creep in, like I've mentioned, fake DOI numbers, or when you don't reference properly and you don't use the correct punctuation, such as full stops, commas, etc. Okay, I wonder, there we go, next slide. This is a little bit of a follow-on from the previous slide, and we take it very seriously, the guidelines for responsible AI use. There is a YouTube video on this if you'd like more information, and you can also go to the IIE library page and it will tell you more about what to do, what not to do when it comes to AI. And yes, the most important thing to always remember is the research should be done by you and not the AI tools. And a few top tips. Each AI tool must have its own section in the annexure. Okay, so like I mentioned, there is a special slide deck or video where we do cover how to write out an annexure. I didn't want to cover it today in case some of you may already know how to do it, and others might need more time just to absorb the information. So the YouTube links are the way to go. If you've used 3 different AI tools, so for example, you've done ChatGPT, Grammarly, and something else, each of those must have its own section. Okay, you can't just say, I've used these 3 tools. How did I use them? When did I use them? You can't lump them together. They must be separate entries under the same annexure. Okay, and then please do ensure that you follow our guidelines, and if in doubt, please contact an information specialist. Okay, and actually I was quite prepared. I've given you an example of what an annexure looks like, and yeah, please place it after your reference list at the end of your document. It is called an annexure for that reason. It's after your script. Title is the name that you give to this section. So you can copy this exactly. You can say disclosure of AI usage in my assessment. You can also say the section within it, like where did you use it? Did you use it for question 4, 5, and 6? Did you use it for introduction only, literature review only? Be specific. Name your tool and then say why you used it. So for example, I've said here, I've used the generative AI to formulate ideas and understand initial concepts. You could also say something like defining concepts or finding out the definitions behind certain words. And it's just about being open and honest. Just say how you personally used it. Then you won't get into trouble for that. Okay, so date on which generative AI was used. It can be more than one date. Again, if you've used it on more than one date, you will have to have more than one link to the chat. You know, if you've used different prompts that you want to put in, we want to see your thought processes behind it. So a screenshot will not be good enough. It has to be the actual link to the chat. If you're using the free version of ChatGPT, please download a copy of the chat so that you have it with you as proof. Just in case somebody wants to double check, then they've got everything they need. And then we've talked about generative AI, where it generates information sometimes. This one is more for grammar tools, grammar checkers. They are also AI, and they must also be acknowledged. So even if you've got that plug-in for Grammarly on your Word document, that needs an AI annexure after your script. So please do keep a rough draft of your work, just in case that you need to prove that you were the one that wrote it and you didn't ask Grammarly, please write my literature review for me type of thing. And sometimes the grammar tool doesn't help you because we want to hear your academic voice, your argument, your input. And if you start sounding like somebody completely different, it actually harms your work rather than enhancing it. Similar to the previous slide, we have different sections here that you need to cover in your annexure, but you will notice that we do not require a link for a grammar tool. The reason being is it's not a chatbot as such, because if you've got the plugin, it makes suggestions throughout the assignment. And you may not be able to have a before and after. Okay, but that's why we want you to keep a rough draft, just in case, maybe version 1 of your script. Just save it somewhere, forget about it, and then do a version 2, 3, 4 that has got the changes from Grammarly. All right, we're going to do a 5-minute comfort break. We are making good time. Please
Sorry,
stretch. Yes,
1A.
hi. Yes, hi.
Can you just please answer the questions in the chat? Thank you.
Okay,
Not
will do.
everybody can see the chat, so if you can just
Oh gosh, okay.
say,
All right.
repeat the question and just assist those students. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Let's see what we've got here. All right, how would you check our referencing? Would we need to book an appointment? Fantastic. Yes, that is one of the ways that you can do it. So on Emirates Assist, there is an option to request an appointment. You can do that. Or what you can do is you can send through, also on Emirates Assist, you can copy your document, you can attach your document and then ask one of the writing center consultants to take a look. So it really does depend what exactly you wanted from us. But yeah, if it's just a quick 10-minute referencing check, then you can just go onto Emirates Assist and pop your document in, and then we will respond to you on your email. Okay, do you have to in-text reference sections where you used AI to enhance your work but not generate it? Or is it just declared in the annexure? Okay, so for postgrad students, it is really not a good idea to reference AI in your actual document, because that means that AI came up with it. So thank you so much for this question. If you did not generate it from AI, but it was more just a suggestion tool or ideas formulation, then it's only in the annexure and not in text and not in your reference list. Okay, so very clear. It has to be still your own work, but you got the idea from AI, annexure only. And then do we have to add the AI declaration on the cover page as well? No, that should not be necessary. If you've got the declaration that says I did not plagiarize, then it is covered in all sorts of types. So whether it was the old school plagiarism where you're copying someone else's work or using someone else's work as your own, AI falls into the same category, so we don't have to technically declare it separately. And then do you have to declare if AI was used to find sources like articles? Yes, definitely. Okay, so this would be a good use of the tool. And remember, the AI annexure is not to punish you, it's just to make sure that you have used it correctly, and we just want to know. So if you've used any kind of tool, Perplexity, one of those that suggests articles, we would really like to see that in the AI annexure at the end of your document. And then, oh yes, some of the tools, such as Chat PDF or Notebook LM, they summarize the article for you. Yes, please do include all of those in the AI annexure. Again, you will not get marked down at all, but we do want to see how you use the tools. So because you have ethically use them, that is totally spot on, but you do need to declare them. Okay, and we still got a few minutes for the comfort break, so I'm just going to pause there for a moment and we'll start again in a few minutes. Okay, I'm just testing that everything is still working, and we'll get started with the presentation second half shortly. Let's just go to the main screen. Okay. All right, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's get going. The next topic that we're going to chat about is info chat, and it makes quite a lot of sense that we called it an info chat. It's an informative chat. Also, we are the info specialists, so you're chatting with us. And this is just a little promotional flyer for Postgrad support, introducing myself, and there is the booking link. We are happy to help you with anything research related, guidance around research topic ideas, or even identifying relevant keywords that you might need to use in database searches. So if you are struggling to find specific articles, maybe when you type in a query, there are too many articles, maybe 20,000 articles, and they're not relevant to you, we can assist you. We can just guide you along that process. And then, as mentioned, we do help with referencing and research support. Okay, so what is an info chat? This is when you book with us, and that was the Emrys Assist link where you can actually request that session, or on this page it's the direct link. So this actually books directly with me in my Outlook calendar. Probably the quickest way to get hold of me, I guess, besides the Emrys Assist platform. And it's one-on-one tailored support. So we can chat about absolutely anything that you need in that particular session. And yeah, so that's probably a very useful thing for you to just save, and then in future when you need our help, you can just contact us. Okay. Right, so now let's chat about the online resources that are available to you. If you do have an article that you require, but it states pay $40 before it releases the article, please do not pay the $40. Rather contact us, our network. We've got colleagues at other universities, institutions that can support, and we can try and find that article for you for free. Right, and then if you do go onto the My Emrys My Library page, there is a section for online resources. Those are just direct links to the IIE library, which we covered at the beginning of this session. So you can just click here and it will take you through. I have got the different links available here. What I will do after this session closes, I will try and post this PDF to the chat. It only allows me to upload things after the session has finished and everyone is offline. So I will try and share this with you. If you do struggle though, then please reach out via the Assist platform so that I can share this with you individually then. If for example, you joined as an external user today. Okay, I'm not going to click on every single one of these options, but I'm just going to show you that these are our top databases: EBSCOhost, Taylor and Francis, IEEE Explore, and Emerald Insight. But there are others, and you are welcome to use it, but I would say start here. Then open access, those are the ones that will always be free to use, and these are the more credible sources of the list. Not every open access resource is a good one. So you will find the predatory journals do pop in on some of the open access sites. And then last of all, in-house resources. There's something called the IIE space. This is where previous year's work is uploaded to our internal repository, our research space, and you can then see what is expected from you as a research student. Library Connect, that's more what books and things are available to you. If you were to go into one of our physical campuses, let's say, for example, you're looking for a specific textbook, and it may not be available on EBSCOhost, but you are allowed to go into the library or information center on a campus any Emirates campus, they must welcome you into the library. And while you won't be able to take the book home with you, you can use all the resources within that space. And then online dictionaries, that's just an added bonus. Instead of just asking Wikipedia the whole time, there are proper dictionaries such as Cambridge, Oxford, and we do have the links to those on our library page. And then Newsbank, if you do need an up-to-date event or you need to do a report on a specific business that was in the news recently, Newsbank is your go-to site. Right, and something quite cool from EBSCO Discovery Service, they've really upgraded their search functions and it's now easier than ever to search. So some of them have a natural language search feature, and you'll notice it sounds a bit like AI because it is. Instead of having Boolean operators, which is like saying keyword and then add your different descriptors on. This is just you write a sentence, any old sentence. I have an article, I think it was entrepreneurship that I searched for the other day, and all I did was I wrote a plain sentence. I'm looking for an article, basically like I was talking to ChatGPT, looking for an article on entrepreneurship. It must include SMEs, ... and sustainability, and then I pressed search, and it actually came up with some pretty good results. If it doesn't give you the result you want straight away, please try again. It does take a while to get the prompts correct, but once you start getting the hang of things, it's actually quite a fantastic service because it searches 16 other databases at the same time. So how cool is that? You don't have to go into each one individually, you just type it here and it will look for you. Things to keep it in mind. Click the option that says full text, otherwise you will be disappointed when only the abstract is available. I selected the one that said available in library collection just because I wanted to narrow down my search further. And then very, very importantly, you must tick the box where it has the badge with the little sign in the center, the tick sign. Scholarly, peer-reviewed journals. What are peer-reviewed journals? It means other experts in the field have looked through it already and they have guaranteed that this is a good article. And then also just make sure that you're using up-to-date research from maybe the past 5 years or so. And then you can tick the box for natural language search if you want to. If you are happy with the and, or, and not kind of Boolean operators, the old school way of searching with inverted commas around certain keywords, you are welcome to stick to that if you prefer. All right, and a little bit about ethical AI tools that you can use. I would say these are probably two of the best, or the two that I have used. And I did my master's study recently, and I used Research Rabbit to great effect. It's more for your literature review section, where you want to find other articles that are maybe the leaders in their field. And depending on how popular the article is, how many citations it has, that will determine the size of the circle. So think of all those little rabbit holes. The bigger the circle, the better the source, and it will suggest other articles to you that you can then find. And the R Discovery, it's also available as an app on your phone. Pretty cool. You can use this to also search for articles. So you type in your search on the app and then you can look through exactly what is available online. And now I'll open the floor to any questions that you may have. I've just labeled it where, what, how, and why, because there is no such thing as a bad question. If you need to find out where to get the information, please go ahead, either raise a hand or write in the chat. And if you're not sure what to do, also, please feel free to ask for assistance. We're here to help you, and we really want you to succeed in this journey. And yeah, so please use this time. I'm going to just close the screen so I can see the chat. Let us see. Okay. I love the comment on the tea and coffee. It was a tough choice for me as well. As you can see, or if you have access to the chat, the vote was 17 for tea and 18 for coffee. Yeah, I love both as well. And then, okay, so I will try and share the presentation. There was just a question, how do we get hold of the presentation? If it doesn't want to upload to the chat, then we will definitely upload it to the YouTube channel as well. Okay, and then is
The
there,
question with regards
yes,
to the YouTube channel, do I just type and I screenshot it in the beginning where you said there's that 2 minutes and you've uploaded 7 videos? Is it that one? Correct. Okay.
yes, that's correct, yes. And it is, yeah, it's the one that it says Emirates Online, a central hub for postgrad
Okay.
research support. That's the correct one. Yeah, and
Perfect.
if
Thank you.
yeah, if you do scroll, if you are on the page, actually let me go there now. Then for those who can't see the chat, at least I can show you how to get there. Okay, let's go to a new page. I've got mine in my bookmarked section, so please feel free to bookmark as well. So once you're on this page, okay, you won't see exactly what I see, but if you are looking at playlists, then perhaps you will see you click on playlists and then you can see recordings of library sessions. So that's where this session is going to go today.
Michelle, you're not sharing your screen.
Oh gosh, so thanks for reminding
Thank
me.
you.
Thank you so much. I clicked share, but then I didn't click screen. So I was halfway. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. So let's go back a step. We will first see the Emirates Online Postgrad Library page. If you click playlists, then it divides it into the different categories. Recordings of library sessions is the first playlist. And then the next one is academic support, where some of our other navigators or lecturers have uploaded content. And then the 5-minute video series, that's those 7 videos that were alluded to earlier today. Okay, all right. And yeah, so that's all for now. Okay, I'm just going to check the chat again. Were there any other questions? How far backdated should our journals and articles be? It really does depend. So sometimes you might find an issue in education where 20 years ago it was an issue and it might still be an issue today. Pass rates for matrics, for example. So then you can reference the very old ones, but then you must also show the progression. So you can have a paragraph that has a 1998 reference and a 2022 reference, just so that you can show the progression over time. But in general, if you're trying to state statistics and stuff, then not more than 5 years old. Okay. Oh gosh, yes. Zotero. So this wasn't really a referencing session as such, but Zotero is a referencing management system, and that alongside Mendeley, those are your 2 main options. On the IE library page, we actually have a section on how to use those tools. I prefer Zotero to Mendeley just personally. It kind of collects your research in one spot and then does an automatic reference list. However, you will have to change those references to the IIE Harvard Anglia style afterwards. Okay, so it's not just a plug and play. It's lovely for collecting the information and for doing the skeleton structure of your reference list, but then please go in and modify the references afterwards. Okay. Please let us know where you can access the slides that are presented during the session. All right, so I will, after everyone has left the call, I will try and post it in this chat. And if maybe you can't see the chat, then rather reach out to me on the Emirates Assist and then I can just share it with you directly. Should Zotero be declared as well? I haven't actually heard of a case where we need to use an annexure for Zotero, so I would say no, we don't need to declare Zotero. Okay, are there any other questions? We're almost at the end of the presentation. I've got one last thing to go through. one last slide. Let me remember to share. Okay, here's another question. If we want our work reviewed, how many days does it take to get feedback? Thank you. Fantastic question. The earlier the better. If you are able to plan ahead, a week in advance is perfect. Let's say the minimum time is 2 days, 48 hours, because what happens is maybe if you send the request late at night, we will see it the next morning and then contact one of our writing center consultants who then takes a look. So there is a little bit of a process to follow. I'd say minimum 2 days, maximum 1 week if you are able to plan ahead. And I see we do have a hand up. So, Uniska, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Please go ahead.
Hi, Michelle. No, you're pronouncing it correctly. So, my question is more in the line of I've came from different universities, so this is my first time now with Emirates, and there's an app, Turn It In, that I hear everyone talking about. So, tell me, is this an app that you need to download privately and then submit your assignments and whatnot onto it, or does Emirates give you the link to use this Turn It In app? And if so, where can I go about to find it?
Thank you so much. That's a great question. We've tried to make it as easy for the student as possible. There's no download needed. And when you submit your script on our ARC platform, it automatically will go through Turn It In. So there's absolutely nothing extra that you will need to do. What happens is your script, as it is submitted, it gets scanned through Turn It In and a report is generated automatically. So everything else, I think it's more just like a hands-off approach. You put in your document, you submit it, and then it will give you a score afterwards. So let's say, for example, your score is 25% similar. That just means compared to other people who have also submitted that kind of document, maybe your references were similar, maybe your sentences were similar. I hope that answers your question.
Perfect. No, thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Right, I see there's another one. The name is PDIU. Please go ahead and open your mic.
Hi, morning everyone. Just wanted to ask this presentation that you have here, where will it be available? Because I'm currently struggling with my logging on to my student portal.
Okay, don't worry about the student portal as such. I can actually just share my screen quickly to show you. Double checking that I am sharing my screen now. Sure hope so. Okay, all right. It looks like it's sharing. And
Yes, it is.
oh, fantastic. Thank you so much for the feedback. I was worried there. Okay, so what you might see if you go onto my Emirates and you go, I'm just going to start at the home page. You've got these blocks over here. Now, if you go to the academic section, you can see there's your calendar and everything. Hopefully it is loaded, but even if it's not, don't worry about student portal as much. We want you to look for Emirates Assist. Okay, so it's the one with the hand and the question mark. Need help? We're here to support you. So you click Emirates Assist and it should be accessible from everywhere. You can choose your category, you can say student support, and then academic writing request, or I think there's one for librarian even, request an appointment with an information specialist or librarian. So depending on your needs, you can either choose that writing center support or the library support.
I don't have to log into this.
I don't believe it would require a login. At times I have actually posted a query for a student as well. So
Okay.
I didn't need to log in with the student details. I'm just going to post in the chat. That's the assist direct link. If you are able to view the chat, please click and see if you have access. I think it should be accessible to everybody. Okay. And then Rami, please go ahead.
Hi. So just quick one on the Turn It In. I've only ever used what's the safer sign, and then the last submission that I made is like the submission. Is it the case with Turn It In as well? Or
Yes,
would I need to? Okay. Sorry,
that
go
is
on.
correct. It it's actually preferable that you only submit once, because every subsequent time it might be a higher similarity because it's comparing to all of the other works that have been submitted. So the later you submit an assignment, the more similar it will be to others. So if you're bright and early and the first person to submit, your score will be the lowest that it can be. And if you submit 1 minute before the deadline, it is going to actually be a higher score.
I see. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. And there's 2 hands. Okay, I think Mohammed, you're next in line.
Hi, morning everyone. Are you?
Good, and you?
I'm good, thanks. I just wanted to find out, in terms of Turnitin, what's the maximum similarity score that we're allowed to get before we get penalized?
Okay, so there isn't a hard and fast rule about percentages because it is topic related, subject related. I can use the example for law. Because the law, there's only a certain way to say, to state it, with direct quotes.
Yeah.
Any law report will be 40% or more for the similarity index. But if you are business or education or humanities, then I would say it's a little bit of a red flag if it's over 30% similar. So please
Okay.
don't worry if it says 15% similar, if it even says 20% similar, that is completely normal because we have the same references and the same names of the headings, etc. So,
Okay, understood.
your navigator or lecturer will always look at what has been highlighted by Turnitin, and they will use their best judgment in marking the script. So if it only highlighted the headings, then you have nothing to worry about.
Okay, perfect. And then one more thing, on Emerist Assist, which section do we go to receive the slides?
You would have to log a query. So Emrys Assist is kind of like a help platform. So you would need to select, let's say, for example, academic writing support, and then you type in a message, and that message gets sent to our emails for whoever the message is supposed to be received by. We will then respond to you on the email, and we will send you that PDF.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Pleasure. And then we have Nomfiso. Please go ahead.
Hi, Michelle. My question was also on Turnitin. Is it meant to be picking up on the plagiarism or on how similar your work is to other students?
Okay, great question. So plagiarism, by definition, it's when you're taking other people's work and not referencing it. So if, for example, you do not have in-text references, but you have gotten the information from somewhere else, that is plagiarism. And Turnitin will pick up on that, and it will highlight it. So you might get sentences in your script where they just end with a full stop. They do not have the open the brackets, surname, comma, year, close brackets. That can be an issue, and that is something that is plagiarism. But similarity just means, have you used the same words as somebody else? So if I've used the word, let's say, sustainability, there is only one word for sustainability, and we will all use that same word. So that is okay. It's okay to be a little bit similar, but if it starts being 100% similar, then we know something is off. And that means you've copied directly from a textbook or directly from ChatGPT, copy paste. And that is plagiarism.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sure thing. Okay, so one of the messages in the chat says, I had a lot of problems with Emrys Assist. Couldn't log into the student intranet at first because my account was not set up, and it was only resolved when I escalated it. Maybe that person has the same problem. So yeah, please do go onto the Emrys Assist, see if you can access it, and then yeah, please just escalate the problem if you cannot get access, because by this stage I think we all need to be able to access our student portal and the ARC system. And we have one last question in the chat. It says, where can we find a cover page for our assignments? There used to be one on the IE library page, but I think they are streamlining the page. It's still a little bit under construction. So at the moment, you might have to ask a lecturer or navigator for the assignment page, especially if you are doing research. There's a particular structure for the research proposal. Then I would say please be in contact with your supervisor or lecturer. Thank you. All right, and one last slide. As I said, I'm almost done and we're making good progress today. Okay, I think I'm sharing. Yes, okay, I'm sharing full screen. Internet's been a bit patchy lately. Right, final thoughts. Fortune favors the prepared mind. That is a quote by Louis Pasteur. And to that I add, by planning ahead and seeking research support, you can maximize your chance of success. That's my famous quote for the day. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I wish you well on this research journey. I love research. I would happily form a part of that journey. Please contact me anytime. Nokutula, I see there's a hand from you.
Sorry, I'm a bit late. I typed my question in the chat as well.
Okay, let me answer that. Does the YouTube channel have the basics of navigating the online library? I'm struggling to navigate for now, even just to get books, for example, Research Matters. Okay, so with in-depth navigation of the online library, I would almost suggest that either you book a session with the information specialist and we can share our screen with you and then walk you through that process. But if you did want to watch something afterwards, then one of the recordings from the live sessions is perhaps more valuable to you because the 2-minute videos, they only cover the basics. They don't cover the walkthrough. So the longer sessions, the recordings, are what you will need to look at. Okay. All right. I'll stay on the chat a bit longer. I'll just put my camera off. The session is done. And thank you, everyone. I hope you have a fantastic day further. Bye from me.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, shame. Carol, yes, you've got a question.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much. I'm one of the navigators for the postgrad research course with Althea. And I was just trying to get into, I was on my Emirates, but I can't, I seem to have a very different looking page. So I get into library support, but I don't get the academic support, you know, where you showed the playlist. I can't, that page isn't on my, I mean, I can show you my screen.
YouTube, the YouTube page.
Yes.
Oh.
So can I show you where I am?
Yeah,
Okay, let me
please
just
go
try and
ahead.
navigate my way back there.
No, thank you. It's nice to know what other people can and can't see.
Yes.
Okay.
So let me just make this small.
While you're busy with that, Carol, Michelle, I don't have access to my Emirates at all.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know how to get on.
Okay, Althea, you will need to log a ticket with the IT support, please.
Okay.
This is like a non-negotiable thing. We need you to have access. I'm so
So-
sorry that it's not working.
So let me just go to, because I am in my Emirates. Also had a bit of trouble. A lot of the ICs,
Yes.
we couldn't get into the PAS or anything, but I see that has finally opened up, which is fantastic.
Yes.
So if I go into my home, and now I need to get into my Emirates, so there I'm in. And yeah, from here, do I go into library services? Because that's where I just get the normal, good old, you know, the EBSCO and the databases, but I don't seem to have that anything further. Where would I get to
the YouTube page is separate. Okay,
okay.
so the YouTube page is my personal YouTube that I am using for work purposes. So what I did was I posted in the chat. Were you able to see the chat?
No, we both Althea and I had two logins for today, and we tried both of them, and we're the only ones in the room for the session. And then we got sent a link that we opened, but that one didn't allow us the chat.
Michelle, Toine did send me the correct link, and I did open it, but this still could not actually see the chat.
Yes.
And that I assume is probably because I'm not logging on
External.
through my Emirates. I'm only logging through
Yes.
Arc
Yeah,
and Teams.
you are most correct. Because we didn't click, we didn't log in to your actual profile on my Emirates. Then it
Don't
sees you
have
as an
one.
outside
Okay.
user.
I'll
Okay,
sort that
all
out
right.
tomorrow on Monday.
But yeah, even I couldn't log in through my Outlook meeting link. I had to go through the My Emirates page. So it's very specific.
How does
Must I
one do
just
that?
let me
Yeah,
go through that? I'll just
please.
share.
Because I
And
also
then
was using my Outlook link, and
Yeah.
Alfie and I found ourselves in a
It
room
wasn't
together.
working. Yes,
Yeah.
and that I'm so sorry. That happened to one of the students as well, and it was their first session, and they were in the wrong room. It was awful, and they were sitting there for I think half an
Ages.
hour.
Oh my
Okay,
word.
so let's actually just start from the beginning. I'm going to close everything and then start from scratch.
Okay,
So
wonderful.
as if you're just opening up the internet, and now I've got two links. I've got Life at Emirates and I've got My Library. So I'm going to the Life at Emirates online because this is specifically for the online module for the students. And do you see right up top, it says My Campus, and then it says the sessions that are upcoming. So I need to click the green link, the one that says click to join the session on the day. Okay, not that one, this one. Click to join, and then it's going to take me to the Teams page, and then I must say open, continue in the browser, and go from there. That is how I will have access to the chat. If I use any other method, it will not take me there. Okay, so it has to be through this portal. And I think that's where you might have the problem with access. Okay. Any other queries?
All right, thanks. I will try and find the Life at Emirates. Yeah.
The Life at Emirates. Do you know Rolinda? Maybe reach out to Rolinda. She might, it's probably something that you'll need to access. Or a box ticked by IT or something like that. And then this is what you were saying. This is the Postgrad Library channel. It's completely separate on YouTube. If you actually type in Postgrad Library and Academic Support, you might find something. I'm going to share again in the chat just in case somebody arrived late. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop recording.
Could you share that link separately with Carol and I for now?
Yes, I can do that in the
Thank
Teams
you.
chat. No problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.